On Larry King Now, I welcome back WWE legend John Cena. You made a surprise appearance at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was fun. Why not? I went from the worst seat in the house for WrestleMania, I was dressing in a broom closet, to the absolute best seat in the house. I was in the middle of the ring, surrounded by 101,000 fans with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's pretty special. We're good at what we do. We genuinely are. We're good at our production is second to none. When you walk into the event, you're blown away by the spectacle that we put.
How about Trainwreck? You did that crazy sex scene with Amy.
It was originally written different. It was supposed to be an overly physical scene. And then we got in a room and we started to ad-lib, and both Amy Schumer and Judd Apatow were so receptive to the kind of twist I put in the character.
Plus, Staten Island, New York for John Cena. Hello.
Hey, Larry. Hey, John. How you guys doing?
How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. So I had a quick question for John.
It's all next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now. Special guest John Cena. It's always good seeing him. The legendary professional wrestler known as the face of WWE. John is a 15-time WWE World Champion, recently returned to the ring for a surprise appearance at WrestleMania 32. He's also become a force on the big screen, starring in recent comedic hits like Trainwreck and Sisters, and a cameo appearance in Will Ferrell's Daddy's Home. John's newest reality competition TV show, American Grit, premieres April 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern on Fox. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. You went back, you made a surprise appearance at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was fun. Why not?
Did you was it kept? Did the audience?
It was. I went from the worst seat in the house for WrestleMania, I was dressing in a broom closet, to the absolute best seat in the house. I was in the middle of the ring, surrounded by 101,000 fans with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's pretty special.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Why did you leave WrestleMania?
I had to have my shoulder rebuilt. So I was fresh off of shoulder surgery.
That's a new shoulder?
This one's rehashed a little bit. It's not metal or anything like that, but I had a tear in a rotator cuff. My AC joint needed to be broken and rebuilt, and the humeral head on the bone in my arm was cut in half, so I needed to let that cartilage regrow. And I was given a 9-month timeline, and it's about 3 months since I had my surgery. So nobody expected me to be there, and I figured it's a big party, I might as well crash it.
Did you wrestle?
No, I was involved in an entertaining segment. I did do some physical stuff. I would have liked to do more, but my medical team was only allowing me to do what I did.
Are you going to ever wrestle again?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm pushing to try to get back within the month if I can.
How old are you, John?
I'll be 39 in April.
Why do you keep it up?
Because I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate my 39th birthday.
I mean, why do you keep doing it? Why? You're a good actor. You're funny. You'll make a lot of movies.
I
you got
appreciate
a TV
that.
show you're hosting. What do you need?
Exactly. It's I guess it's the feel of satisfaction you get from live performance. I don't think it's like anything out there.
It is a performance, right?
Yes, absolutely.
A little behind the scenes. So how did they bring you out? Give me the scene at WrestleMania 30.
So we filled up AT&T Stadium with
Where is this?
Dallas, Texas. Crazy WWE fans from around the world, 101,900 folks.
That's them.
Oh, yeah.
Where the Cowboys play.
Yep, and like I said, I wasn't supposed to be there, so I was kind of kept under the cloak of night, and I dressed literally in a side office that's a broom closet with a television so I could see the program. And I knew that when The Rock went out to speak, I wouldn't be far behind. So that's kind of when I made my way up to the...
Did you just walk out?
To the launching pad and ran down to try to save the day.
Were you in a suit or a
Oh, no, I was in my usual WWE gear. It was a true surprise homecoming. It was great.
Why has WWE gotten so popular? It's become a mainstay now. I was on.
And it continues to grow. I think it's the appeal that it has to everybody. It's something that you can watch even if you don't understand what we're saying. We're such a globally, the company has such good global outreach, and I think that's because you can just understand it. There are good guys, there are bad guys, and it is the continuing story of good versus evil, and it transcends language. That's why we have such a big audience around the world.
Do you get along with each other?
For the most part.
Are there real enemies too?
It's competitive. I would say it's the same rapport that, let's say, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady would have on the field.
Except they both want to win, and it's not orchestrated.
Our industry measures certainly success. So the competition is not necessarily winning and losing, but it is for striving for success. So essentially you're in an area with everyone competing for one spot.
Now, does the crowd know usually good beats evil?
Depends on who you ask. Like, I'm supposed to be a good guy in some realms, but some audiences don't really like me.
Do you get beat too?
I've won my share of fights and I've lost them.
So before you go in, I mean, I was there watching the whole thing.
Yeah.
I know that there's rehearsals and things, and my wife and I had a great time doing WrestleMania. Everyone should be blessed to go back.
I think so too.
To watch how they set it all up. But you do know, don't you, who's going to win?
We always tell our audience that the name of the company is World Wrestling Entertainment. And that would be like a director asking a director, hey, you do know the end of your movie that you're filming.
Yeah.
Of course, but they still package the film and put it out there for the audience to be entertained. Our scenario is no different, except you don't have to have the confines of the big screen. These superheroes are right in front of you, real life, and you can reach out and touch them.
Why does the audience go so nuts?
Because we're good at what we do. We genuinely are. We're good
Yeah,
at our production is second to none. When you walk into the event, you're blown away by the spectacle that we put, even before we put people inside the ring. And then when the dust settles and people are inside the ring, I think we have the greatest live performers in the world. And we encourage our audience, and I think they're understanding of this, that when they come through the turnstiles and they sit down, it's okay to escape. Like, they can just let loose, they can emotionally exhaust themselves, and they can get as involved as they want in any story. And I think that's what's great about it.
You get them all ages, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You have 15 world championships. Ric Flair has 16. Is that the goal, to fight him again?
No, I don't think so. I certainly know the amount of respect I have for Nature Boy Ric Flair. And if I get the opportunity to win a World Heavyweight Championship, I'm going to try to take it. But I have so many more things that I'd like to accomplish, and that's on a very side list, I would say.
WWE has become a divas revolution, right? Female wrestlers.
Yes.
A lot of them.
Yes.
Who brought that idea about?
You know, I think it was just, regardless of some of our critics, WWE has a great way of listening to its audience. And our audience just wanted to see these women who have enormous talent and can tell stories just like the men get a chance. And they've gotten a chance and certainly proved themselves as worthy as anybody.
The fans love it, right?
They do.
And your girlfriend is a wrestler.
Yeah, she is.
Nikki, how long you been going together now?
It'll be August 9th. It'll be 4 years.
John, you gonna get married? John. Why do you laugh, John?
Because, you always have great questions, but that's a question that everybody asks me.
She might belt you around. Does she want to get married?
I'm pretty sure she does. But to be quite honest, our lives are both moving so fast. We're kind of focused on the now and worried about the details later on.
Okay, fair. Next, John Cena, his new reality show, American Grit, and what's in store for his budding acting career. Don't click away. We're back with John Cena, one of the great stars in sport and a terrific guy. I've known him quite a while. He's been with us often. See him at ball games. All right, tell me what American Grit is.
American Grit is a competition show where we take 16 civilians and we have 4 decorated military leaders. And they each are responsible for teams of 4 of these civilians. And they will take them through team building challenges, almost like basic training, where the training itself is grueling and physical, but it is meant to break down and rebuild one's resolve. And the show is basically about how far you're willing to push yourself. How far are these contestants willing to push themselves?
How do you get the civilians?
They come from all walks of life. They're from young to old, 20s to 50s, male, female. Basically, the one thing that I was looking for in their DNA is that they all said, when faced with a challenge, I will never give up.
Where'd you shoot it?
We shot it in the Pacific Northwest, a beautiful town right outside of Seattle. Awesome location. The show looks huge, and it is very entertaining.
And we see battle scenes?
No, it's not like that.
Training, right?
It is. It has
climbing ropes and
all the training is derived strictly from military training. So you have these military leaders putting these civilians through military exercise, and it is physical. But like I said, it's a test of resolve. Nobody gets voted off the show. It's not like I can send people home, or neither can the military leaders, and the competitors don't vote against each other. They're put through a series of team building exercises and then put through a series of individual tests of resolve, and the only way they can get eliminated is if they give up.
So these are civilians doing basic training?
Yeah, and the reason I wanted to do it this way was because, Larry, so many people say, like, oh, we support our troops, whether they're deployed or whether they're not active. These men and women have such a great knowledge base that I'll never get, just because of the situations they've been in. And I think a lot of people have a tough time finding ways that what they learned in the military can translate into normal life. But on this show, on American Grid on Fox, you can see the leadership qualities of these 4 different cadre, as we call them, bestowed upon civilian life. So if I'm looking at these folks, I can see, like, wow, they teach team building. They focus on goal-oriented accomplishment. It really is a great way for us as civilians to watch this show and gain more appreciation for our military. And at the same time, these civilians get led by these elite people that defend our freedom, and they can learn life lessons. And the journey is awesome. Like, people push themselves farther than I've ever seen.
Now, what about you in movies? You have a soft spot for comedy?
I kind of do, yeah.
How about Trainwreck? You did that crazy sex scene with Amy. What was that like?
Unorthodox, because it was originally written different. It was supposed to be an overly physical scene. Big guy, I'm sick of being with this guy because he's too physical. And then we got in a room and we started to ad-lib, and both Amy Schumer and Judd Apatow were so receptive to the kind of twist I put on the character. We ditched all the physical humor and just made it a very uncomfortable scene, and it was very awkward. And at the end of the day, it ended up being pretty funny.
Is it going to be a Trainwreck too?
You know what? I know Amy Schumer is doing spectacular things now. She's got her own show as well that's doing extremely well. The movie was a tremendous hit. If there isn't a Trainwreck 2, she should have another project for sure.
You also did with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler in Sisters.
Yeah, that was fun as well.
So what about you and a movie career?
I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. It's one of those things where I'm not in charge of making the movies. So, if it was up to me, certainly I'd have the projects that I want to pick and the projects that I want to do. But you kind of got to take those opportunities when they're at. But
you do naturally take to it, right? I mean,
I really
you look like you enjoy it.
I do. I had a great time on all of those movies. It was fun going to work every day.
When you started all this, did you ever think you'd be a performer?
If I tell you yes, I would be blatantly lying. I had no idea it would come to this.
When we come back, John will take your calls from across the globe. Stay with us as we go out. A clip from American Grit. Watch.
Goldie has reached the endurance platform, but will get no rest. Competitors, on your mark. The endurance challenge has begun.
Come on, Jim.
Keep your arms relaxed and just be prepared to suffer. You can do it.
If me and Goldie go back to the house, I will be the happiest man.
You were the first one through that course. You got some good rest. Now just hold on. Looking good. Yawning over there.
Just a nap.
Oh, you were just taking a nap down there. I'm sorry. I thought you were struggling.
Don't overextend yourself, though.
Chris just getting a stretch on, mocking you both. Shots fired.
Get mad.
I don't have to get mad, man.
Prepare to be here till tomorrow. You can do it. I know you can beat these guys.
We're going to wait until one bag drops. Someone soon will give up, ring out, go home.
During my long and heralded career, I did many radio and television shows in which I took phone calls, normally on this show, which is taped. We don't take them, but we set up some people wanted to get on, so we had them call in advance, and we're going to go to each caller. We're going to take...
You sure you're ready for this? We have a pretty exciting
I'm nervous,
audience.
John.
Okay, all right.
But we have about 4 callers coming, and we'll start with one of my favorite cities, Chicago, Illinois. Are you there?
I'm here. Hi, guys. My name's
What's your question?
Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
What's your question for John?
I'm John. With your post-run career, are you going to do WWE commentary? Because you've been doing a great job on the Today Show.
Oh, thank you. You know, I truly love WWE. It's a family for me. I think that's why I've been attached to it so long, and I don't think I'll ever leave. When I can no longer function in the ring, I think they know that I want to be a part of that family as long as I can. So I'll go wherever they tell me to.
You do commentary?
If that's the contribution that I can make, then that's exactly what I'll do.
Have you been on the Today Show? Is that...
We've been doing some great stuff. They've kind of honored me as like a substitute teacher type of role. I come in and do the 9 o'clock hour sometimes.
That's fun.
It is. It's a good time.
Our next call for John Cena is from Los Angeles. Are you there?
Hey, guys. Hey, Larry. Hey, John.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good.
Okay.
All right. John, do you get frustrated when people dismiss wrestling because it's staged or fake, or are they just missing the point?
Yes, I get frustrated, and yes, they're missing the point. What we do is for the entertainment of our audience, and I don't expect everyone to like it, and I don't want you to get me wrong there. I think we have a great form of entertainment, but I think when people jump to that conclusion of, it's no good because it's staged, they're just being ignorant to our product. I mean, essentially everything has some sort of production value to it, and not too much nowadays is true, raw, live, in your face as it happens. I think we do that better than anyone else, and I just think it's a shortcut for people who don't necessarily understand what we do. So I get frustrated when I hear that, but immediately when someone jumps to that conclusion, I kind of know who I'm dealing with.
But you do get hurt.
No, I just got off a show, and it's not like a badge of honor to say, you know what we do, we get hurt. I just wish people would be more accepting to the fact that we entertain millions around the world. And don't just shut it off because you have some preconceived notion of what it may be. Like you said, everybody should be able to go to WrestleMania and feel that excitement. Yeah. It's wonderful.
Good question, good answer. Staten Island, New York for John Cena. Hello.
Hey, Larry. Hey, John. How you guys doing?
How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. So I had a quick question for John. I see it as a really exciting time for the WWE. I've been watching NXT and obviously every show from the network. With all the names like Nakamura, Styles, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor coming in, how do you feel about that influx of indie talent, and who are you most excited to work with?
You know, it's amazing you talk about NXT and the talent that is attracted to NXT. I think the brand itself has done extremely well. And yes, NXT has recruited people with previous experience, but it's also spawned new performers like Enzo and Big Cass. And in reply to that, it's our developmental brand, or it's actually become its own brand. It started as a place for us to teach WWE hopefuls to make it to Raw or SmackDown. And through hard work, it has become its own brand. Like, they are doing tremendous work with NXT.
And a good talent?
The talent is too much. So to answer your question, I like to see people who can resonate with that audience, and I like to see what they do with our audience. So essentially, I'm not sure, because just because someone can resonate with an NXT audience, the Raw experience, the SmackDown experience, the continual live experience up on a grander stage could be a little bit different. So I kind of like to let them test their waters and see what they can do on our stage, and then kind of throw my hat in the ring.
Thanks. Good question. And final question from Orange County, California for John Cena.
Hi, how are you guys?
Hi.
So my son has a serious goal to wrestle professionally. We've looked into wrestling schools, he's done martial arts, and he's interested in taking some acting classes. He's willing to put in the blood, sweat, and tears to make his dreams come true. So is there anything else I can do as a parent to help him along the way?
Can I ask how old your son is?
He'll be 13 in June.
Okay, first of all, get him a high school diploma. Second of all,
education is number one.
Second of all, see if he'd like to do secondary education, because as you work your way through our ranks, it's not just about the action you do in the ring, especially nowadays. It's more and more about the actions you do outside of the ring. And I think with a solid base in education, you're able to handle yourself in those situations a little bit better. But I also thank you for saying, what can I do as a parent? I think as a parent, you can be supportive. I grew up off of watching then WWF with my father, and we had such a great family bond watching WWE. Like, that was a time for my family to get together and enjoy the entertainment. So when I told my father I would pursue this as a career, he couldn't have been more supportive. Even though I had already been through financial strain going to preparatory high school and in secondary education through college, I would not essentially use my degree to apply it to my new trade, but he was very, very supportive, and he never told me once, like, it's a pipe dream and to give up on it. He was always so enthusiastic about me following my dream. So as a parent, I think you can just be supportive to your child and don't rule it out. Just because it is a very thin funnel as you go through the ranks of people that succeed in this profession, it doesn't mean it's not possible. So have a realistic perspective of where your child is, and just be supportive as a parent.
Thank you, ma'am. Our final moments with John Cena, including a game of If You Only Knew, when we come back. We're back with John Cena. Don't forget, his new competition show will start on Fox on April 14th at 9 p.m. American Grit. It sounds really exciting, a great idea.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, before we get to some If You Only Knew questions, what do you think of UFC?
It's done great to establish itself as a brand, but in comparison with us, it doesn't resonate with me, just because I'm a storyteller. I enjoy the story that we can tell in the ring, and like I said, I think we do it better than everyone.
Why is UFC so popular?
Because
we like violence?
I don't think so. I think it's it truly has marketed itself extremely well. It has fantastic exposure, and there's no denying the athletic ability that it takes to step in the octagon. It's not something I could do. And I'm not taking anything away from anyone in UFC, because their success speaks for themselves. But as far as it resonating with me, it's just not something I'm a fan of.
Okay, a game of If You Only Knew. So quick question. What's the most memorable moment in your career?
Well, it was just at WrestleMania, but I'm hoping I haven't had it yet. So maybe WrestleMania next year on April 2nd.
Best piece of advice you ever received?
Show up early, be clean shaven, outwork the other guy.
Biggest splurge?
Red wine.
Me too. Presidential candidate you'd most like to see fight in a WWE ring?
Hall of Famer Donald Trump.
He's a Hall of Famer?
He's a WWE Hall of Famer. That's an easy one.
How do you get to be a Hall of Famer?
Shaving Vince McMahon's head.
What do you make of this political year?
I think they're looking at the WWE playbook. That's the best I can do with that one.
A wrestler from yesteryear you'd like to see back in?
Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'd like to have a match with him.
A moment from your career you'd redo?
Not a single one.
Pet peeve?
Complacency.
Actor you'd most like to work with alongside in a new film?
That's Leonardo DiCaprio. And that is extremely ambitious, but he's one of my all-time faves.
One thing you would change about the world if you could?
Telling people that they can achieve anything if they put their mind to it.
If you weren't a wrestler, what would you be doing?
I would most likely be involved in the United States military or be teaching and coaching somewhere.
And a superpower you wish you had?
Invisibility, because for years I've been saying you can't see me, but it doesn't work.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, as always, man.
Big thanks to my guest, John Cena. Be sure to tune into his new reality competition show, American Grit. It debuts April 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern on Fox.